Oh, jokes. But no, seriously, it's time for Transformers the show.
What's up, everybody? It's your favourite opinionated legend, Brian Bonebonce here, and it's time for 3 more opinionated legends and Alexis. It's Friday night. It's 8 o'clock. It's time for Transformers the show.
I live my life walking down the street, meet the faces of the people I see. All the time I see a reflection, all the time I see a reflection. It's okay to feel alone, it's okay to be alone. All the time I see a reflection, all the time I see a reflection. 'Cause when I'm with you, it seems so easy. Seems so easy. My best days are with you. They are so easy. They are so easy.
Hey, thanks, Brian Bonebonce. That was an awesome introduction. Tonight, it's the bloody Hasbro Pulse reveal, so we'll be going through them. Plus, we're going to choose our Optimus Prime. So that'll be Fourplay. Right, now, it's the news. Before we do the news, we've got a little announcement to make. So I'm going to hand over to Paul, who's going to make quite a serious announcement on behalf of Transformers the Show.
Hi guys, it's Paul, the host of Transformers the Show. We wanted to reach out to you so we can clear some things up from a matter that was raised on one of the forums. An accusation was made that our pickups are no more than a dick swinging contest. We wanted to apologise for that, as well as any other allegations.
It's time to say sorry.
Whoops. We all make mistakes. Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry. They know I'm sorry. But you know I'm sorry. Oh, sorry for having fun.
Whoops. I'm sorry.
Sorry. Now for the news.
I got some TV, and now the news. Don't touch that dial.
I want that video from all of us. I want to see Alexis.
How do you follow that? How do you follow this? And thank you,
Alexis, I'm sure you'll try. Go on.
That was art. Let's be honest. That was art. That was real art. That was real for some people.
That was too much.
Too real. That's too emotional.
Yeah.
Get out. We're moving on to Hasbro now.
That was
Right.
You were voting
Sorry.
Liberal Democrats.
All right. Settle down. Right.
And
All right.
the
Hasbro
other
PulseCon.
thing-
Shh, quiet. Hasbro PulseCon started today and goes on until tomorrow. I think I'm correct in saying, Jamie, you'll
It's
know
still on.
if
It's
the
still
Transformers stuff has happened, though, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's
So, we don't need to worry about the other stuff. It's all
still
rubbish.
happening. No, there's other stuff happening, and there'll be more interviews and stuff, and it's happening.
Is
over
there?
2 days, and it's
Oh, great.
live right now. You know,
Wow,
so
but don't go watch
non-stop
it.
action. Yeah, don't go watch
We're
it.
live
especially
too.
Derwin, just
Let's watch it
because that's
afterwards. It's
awful.
pointless
But,
watching
yeah.
it live. Most of it's rubbish. Anyway, it's on, and of course we've had reveals, lots
we've had
and
Mark
lots of
Pack as well.
gorgeous reveals. Oh, and Mark, and I can't remember. What was the lady's name? Was it
There's so
Rachel?
many.
The one who
you
just
asked
come back.
Rachel.
Rachel.
I thought you were asking about people
Yes,
on
it was
Facebook.
Rachel. I was right, Rachel.
Rachel.
Who? Congratulations to her on having her baby. But let's be honest, we were all there for Mark, who is the pinnacle of Transformers fandom. He's just, I love him. He's great.
Oh.
We have to have him on the show.
Who's the
Alexis!
big bearded- Who's the bearded guy?
Contact
Tap it
him.
up.
I mean, Mark bearded, but there was
We'll-
another
we'll
bearded guy
Slide
there.
into his DMs.
We can all agree that Mark is as high as you can get.
Actually,
As
he was
a
a bit on
fan,
the
as a
downer
fan,
today, I
as a
thought.
fan, as a
Did you
fan.
think?
I
don't
think he was quite calm. I thought
Oh, he was
quite
reserved.
good.
Yeah, he was probably
Yeah.
more reserved.
Yeah.
Anyway,
He wasn't-
so yeah, legacy reveals, and there you see the group shot, which we're starting with there. We're going to flick through these a bit because we're going to actually talk more about these in the discussion. But I'm sure for those of you who managed to watch it, you were having a reaction to this. Obviously,
Some
two of them
people
we'd
may have
already seen.
Some people probably didn't. I didn't because I'm a man. I don't come.
Some people might have already arrived. We don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, there was one or two
Some
new
people
things that
might
we
never
hadn't
be able
seen.
to come because you know.
This is fascinating.
You're going down a dark path,
all right.
Jamie, and we've only just started.
Jesus.
But as you can see, there's definite like that. They showed some of the artwork, didn't they? Which I think you can see part of it in the background. And there's a definite look they're going for. This whole idea of a mixture of different iterations of Transformers all mixed together, but in a G1 style, which I can already hear some people moaning about because it's G1 again. But it is the most popular version of the franchise. And at least it's taking characters from other areas of Transformers. Like
That momentum again, I bet you.
We have already obviously seen the Tron style Galvatron. I forgot what he's called now, but the one that comes with the Unicron pack. This was a nice thing to see. I quite liked this one, but we'll get into
And he's a
that.
combiner.
That looks really good. That actually looks really good. The limbs, go back to that drag strip, actually looks like a really good drag strip. I will say that looks quite good for a chug. So
you're not part of this conversation anymore.
We're going to talk about this at the end. We'll discuss it right at the end.
Yeah. I mean, the Insecticons we knew were kind of coming. I was interested to see what they would look like because I've noticed quite a few people putting up for sale their kind of legend size.
Those people, they always do that.
Which I really like those figures, particularly Bombshell. He's my favourite of the three.
Well, he was kind of introduced as a Insecticon commander. Meaning,
Kickback wasn't it?
Yeah.
Which a very G1-esque car mode there for drag strip. Obviously, the G2 Prime, just in case anybody hadn't recognised what it was supposed to be. I think
not Scourge. That's not Scourge then.
No, G2 Laser Prime or whatever
they
G2 called him.
One. It's not a triple. Well,
yeah,
I guess it's a triple change in some way, but not
really.
Yeah,
because Scourge
wasn't a great mold.
Is it Mardus from Scourge, the Black Prime?
Yes.
Sorry.
I can't remember.
It looked like him. That's all.
Get on the wiki, Alexis.
And then
we'd already seen Skids, hadn't we? We'd already seen Skids, and we'd already seen Bulkhead, so that wasn't really a shock.
A Bulkhead with a nose. It's good to see.
Is that what we're all asking for?
Yeah,
facial features.
I want to see that schnoz.
Not those freaky Prime faces. What the fuck is all that?
It's like they took the. Was it the last night? No, the Age of Extinction hound and just said stuck Bulkhead's head on it and said, "There you go, that'll do. That'll be Bulkhead now." Which he probably kind of did, but you know,
he's got such a cute wee nose now. That's what he should have had.
And we'll talk more about those later. There wasn't a hell of a lot of other mainline news. There was the updated synopses for Transformers Cyberverse Season 4, which was interesting for those of now. If you don't want spoilers, just I don't know, stick your fingers in your ears and go la 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 for a minute.
You missed something else from Hasbro Pulse. They introduced 2 games. There's a VR game.
I didn't. I just didn't see any photos of those, and I missed the actual cost cut.
There was a virtual reality game coming out.
Was there?
PlayStation 5 for.
Is that the one with? Is that the one with
the Transformers? Yes, Alexis.
The one with Megan Fox.
VR game,
with Megan Fox.
A virtual reality game with Megan Fox.
No,
we all know how that's going to end, Alexis.
No.
Very quickly. You've completed another level. Again.
You're very fast at this.
Record time, sir.
Anyway, Cyberverse for the kids. There was spoilers. There's spoilers in this, so if you are a fan of Cyberverse and you don't want to know this bit, then I don't know, just turn the sound off or something and close your eyes for about a minute. Anyway, here we go.
Don't switch off.
So the spoiler is we already know the Dinobots were coming, but now, according to this episode, the Perfect Decepticon, we are getting Tarn. Now, whether we get a figure of Tarn will remains to be seen. We have had the Tarn body shape used in the cartoon before, but then it was because a Megatron from another dimension had come to kind of the dimension we know and brought his army of what he called Ultimate Decepticons, which all happen to look like Tarn. But now apparently he is going to get a character. Whether he'll look like this, we don't know. But the comment I made when I shared this news was the whole thing of how weird it is that Tarn, one of the most sadistic Decepticons of all time, could get his first official action figure in Transformers Cyberverse, which I just find a bit bizarre.
It's almost ironic.
But when you think about children fairy tales, aren't they all based on horrific stories?
I know, but nowadays they try to mollycoddle kids all the time. They try to, soften the blows.
Jim Will Fix It, they did. Probably too much.
Moving on. And that
Just to
was
say,
the official
My
news.
fantasy game is not the Jim will fix it thing.
That is your game.
Are you sure?
I didn't realise there was any doubt over that, but there you
Yeah.
go.
Thanks for bringing that up, Alexis.
I don't want any rumors. I don't want any vicious rumors to start. You know how rumors all get started.
Don't worry, you're not going back.
Oh, well, we don't want to be spreading rumours, do we? Anyway, so then there's third-party news. Not much, but there is some, and a little bit that Alexis will add at the end. So
I just
who
want to
shared
say,
this one?
if anyone wants to spread rumours of me doing something sexually, I don't mind.
That's a really weird comment, Jamie. just anything? I mean, literally.
Obviously.
Anyway, from the
Repulses.
appropriately named Jizz Eye Toys, you get this, another train bot. So, yeah.
I didn't share this. I have no idea what this is.
No. Well, this is just something that Dame Chock have shared. It's more train bots. Train bots seem to be the thing at the moment. Everybody loves a
Me
train.
and Rohan weren't sure whether it was Legends either.
I was going to say, look,
It
there looks a lack of articulation. It looks a bit.
Could be small.
Yeah. Not that all legends have a lack of articulation, but you know what I mean? Simpler.
It actually looks like a fucking GoBot.
You better believe it, Hellfire.
I don't know what he said, but all right.
Right, cool.
And look,
Anyway, so there was that.
Oh, sorry, so go back. Bottom right, Paul. In the foot there, bottom right there, in the foot. What can you see at the back of the leg there? In the foot there?
Yes.
Oh, fucking hell, hands.
Heel spurs?
I hate hands. I hate
They're heel
seeing
spurs, aren't they?
hands on the channel. So that's it. I'm out of the game. I'm not collecting
Jazz
anything.
hands. Anyway,
Too
moving
many
on.
hands.
Kang Toys.
I know what this is. Yeah, this is monkey pants. So this is the crotch shot. This is crotch piece. This is the thing that everyone hated about Kang Toys in the first place. It is the potential Optimus Prime or the sixth member that never happened in the Predacons. Predacons? Yes, Predacons. That is going to form up the crotch piece of the actual main robot. This is there is a Digibash, so we didn't have the actual color version, but there's a color version of this trending now on the Wild Wide Web. If you want to look at that as well. So, but this is it really. There you go. So I think it's Razor Claw next, and then this. So we haven't seen any legs yet. So it's all about they've skipped leg day, unfortunately. But
I actually don't mind the look of this. I think it actually looks kind of cool, and I love the name Thriller.
Yeah, I mean, all the bots are genuinely.
How good is that? It's like G1 style wordplay.
Yeah,
Anyway.
looks really good, Alexis.
And then we have already had the MMC version of Rung, but for TFCon Baltimore 2021, MMC have already revealed that there will be a special kind of special edition version of Nentis, I think they call him, available at ages 3 and up in Toy Dojo. And
there you go. So for
there we
all
go.
of you guys that bought one from Planet Express without the special edition on it, there you go. Like me.
Walk, 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 wow.
That's really good.
Thank you. I've practiced it before.
You've worked with Alexis before. It's
not my first
perfect.
time.
I don't need that anymore.
I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky.
We got Alexis for that one.
Anything you love.
Alexis,
Anyway, there
you
you
should have
go.
stuck with the £10 Hasbro version.
Jamie did warn you.
Did you listen? No.
I still don't. Can we remember what this alt mode was supposed to? Wasn't it some kind of key or drill or pen or paperweight?
Oh, I can't remember. I read this one.
Oh God, I don't know. That's what she said. Anyway, and then we should mention.
Hopefully not often.
Go on, Alexis. What you wanted
So
to?
there is a link available on the tube of you, but you cannot go to it because it's now been made private. This came out about 3-4 days ago, and I watched it, and I didn't think, and I thought it was not really nice, but then I realized it wasn't meant to be released. It's going to be released at Baltimore Convention, TFCon this weekend. MMC did their full render of the Protector bots going up against Bruticus, destroying him, and really cool, like the way that all the bots form, all the hands, all the legs, the chest, the head, everything, and that. And what's really cool is like Hotspot, like he comes down and like he like backs up like a heel spur, and Hotspot forms the feet, and then the bottom half of the bots just clip in. It's like really quite. It's again a completely different design to what they did with Bruticus as well to make it the same sort of area. And at the end of the video, when the Protector bots take down Bruticus and they form like this, someone or some thing puts their foot down here,
Mm.
and they're looking up at it going, they take a step back. So it's speculation about what the next reveal will be from MMC, which again, everyone's hoping it's going to be this weekend. Maybe they leaked it deliberately to hype up this, which is very hyped up. And again, there's two theories going around. One, it's another combiner. Which one haven't we had? Are they stepping back because it's the Decepticon, or because of the angle as well? It potentially looks like it's, and look at the size of the foot next to Bruticus's hand. It looks bigger than a combiner. So what would MMC release that's bigger than a combiner? Based on that, their biggest spot to date has probably been Overlord. Fuck off. So look at the leg. What's your views?
I've looked at the leg. I've looked at the leg. The leg has been seen. It's big, so I would go with a Titan of some kind. Maybe Scorponok Fortress Maximus. I'm trying to tell. There's a little bit. Is that yellow there? That's not from Hotspot. So is that part of the foot? The blue bit there?
Could be Triptychon. Triptychon maybe.
Could be Triptychon. Actually, that's a good shout.
I'd love an MMC Triptychon.
But there you go. That was the third Part A news. We have now left the Part A.
And it did feel a bit like a third party. Cool. Right, on to Fanstoys Innuendo.
Gee, it sure is boring around here.
Right, on today's show.
The links there. The third, and then that, and then straight into.
Well, here's the challenge, right? So this is from the Fanstoys Facebook group. Sorry, why do we get dislikes? This must be why. And all you have to do is
before we've started.
Well, yeah, work out.
Preemptive dislikes.
I've changed the picture of the Transformer to a different picture.
Already.
And you just need to, the game is you just need to work out in my cryptic clue who is the Transformer. So here's your clue. This
Who
week.
Is it? Is that Des Lynam? Is that young Des Lynam?
No.
Is that Des Lynam?
Is that young Des Lynam?
No.
Is it? Is it?
I can't remember his name. Is that gonna ruin it if none of us know his name?
I can't remember his name. Don't worry.
Jamie looks like he's making notes, like he's like really seriously working it out on a piece of paper.
No, he's ordering on Hasbro Pulse. Everyone knows what he's doing.
Is he on Hasbro Pulse?
Who's he most look like from all four of us?
Being a
That's
chosen
the first
one.
clue.
Who's what? Sorry.
Who's he most look like out of all four of us? That's the first clue.
Oh, that's a tough one. I mean, two of us have beards. I'm guessing one of them. Oh, she's going to find out.
Are you trying to say I'm a strawberry blonde?
Arrowfire saying it's Andy. Alexis, who are you saying?
I reckon you called me a strawberry blonde, mate.
What's that got to do with the price of fish?
Right.
Go on, which one of us is it supposed to look most like, in your opinion, Paul?
Oh, sorry.
Because obviously it's based on that.
That's
this isn't a Transformer. Is it a
That's
Transformer?
actually, yeah. In the Transformers show you're on, Transformers, the show. Is it a Transformer?
He doesn't know he's on a show. He doesn't know
Bring
he's
back
here.
the old format. My head hurts.
I think people are saying Andy.
Yeah.
So do you know who it is?
You're all wrong, but all right.
It's you when you were 18. This is.
I wish.
And what Transformer do you love? Who's your favourite Transformer?
Double Dealer.
Double Dealer. And who's his boss?
Overlord.
And who's a friend of Overlord?
Where are we going with this?
Yes, it's Galvatron. Well done.
Oh, there you go.
Andy got it right. Right. It's now
I'm not
going
to say that was the weakest one you've ever done.
Sorry,
or that's a phone call
last
to
week
tell
was
you
the
how
best
weak
one.
that was.
Oh, is this giving another cut?
That's Brian Bonebonce ringing to tell you.
Hiccups!
We now return to the Transformers.
So
it's going swimmingly.
Remember we used to
Right.
cut out all the shit in between.
We used to. Now we just leave it in.
editing.
Right,
I
who
just
would like to
gotta
go
see it.
first?
I love that comment. My wife and I are eating toffee crisp. She doesn't know why.
It's a bit deviant, but it's quite funny.
Right, so dick waving time. Get your dicks out for the lads. What did you get this week?
Let's go first.
Alexis.
I'll go first. I got a cheeky little Kang Toys. Got this Kang Toys in his wonderful. It's called Featherment. They always come in these lovely boxes, deco boxes. This is. I'm not gonna do much on them. I haven't had time to do anything on them. He's quite one. This is him against New Age Megatron, so he's actually quite titchy as a robot overall. But what makes him ridiculous is his bloody wings. Because again, if you add the wings onto him, which I just don't see how it's practical. But if you add, just gonna hold the wings up. If you add the wings onto him, so he's like that. It's like he walks into like a bar. And it's like, how does he even get through the door? It's
sideways,
just
mate. Sideways.
It's just
tips
stupid.
First, obviously.
It's just wings are obviously they're meant to go on Predacking, aren't they? So and his crotch piece keeps falling off as well. That keeps on coming off. So I might have to glue that back on. Gorilla Glue. People wonder what I use to glue stuff on. Gorilla Glue
it was the hottest question in the chat, Alexis. Thank God you've cleared it up.
There we go. You wonder about
Jamie really is.
No, I actually quite like Gorilla Glue. I think it's quite a good one to use, which I saw.
I'm sorry, I wasn't slagging it off.
No, it felt like that to me, Andy.
Did it really?
I got the last two limbs I need to make the abomination, which will be the Zeta MMC combiner, Zeta Torso MMC, which is at the moment away being painted and will come back eventually. So I've got Probus, which is their brawl, and then I've got I can't remember what it was called, but Blast Off. I got those, and I got a couple of very small little bits from friend of the show, Sean Misselbrook. He sends his love, Paul. I got a Menasor face for the little, like a toon accurate Menasor face, which is for the. I don't know if you can see it at all. It's too shiny. Which is it's in the bag still. I'm bagging him. A bit of rage there.
Is this a service you're going to offer in TFN?
No, this is how I get rid of all my informants. Put just a plastic bag over the head. This is for the. I can't remember which one it is. Make Toys, not Make Toys. Oh fucking hell! Magic Square Menasor. It's an alternative head to make it more toon accurate. And then the tiny little thing in here, which I won't show, is instead. It's this little bit on him here, the little cockpit at the bottom. So you see where the cockpit at the bottom here doesn't twist. It's basically a grey filler to take that out and put a grey bit in there instead, because this is effectively a fake cockpit here at the bottom. So it just makes that look have a different aesthetic, so it doesn't twist with it has a grey bit there. So that's the other bit I got. I got those two little extras there as well. And then the only thing I want to just say that I did get as well is I know it's not this week, but I opened up Fanstoys Apache this week. I don't know if anyone else has got this. I think I've heard it on the. So I just want to say the colours on this guy, fucking amazing. I was so like, Solstice was my boy, and like the colours on Apache just big difference in like what you get with him though. But the ankles are just super floppy, like they just flop back. So you get to about there, he just flops back and he just falls over, like. It's really annoying. Apparently, it's a common issue on this. So what I'm looking into now is to see if there's a way to actually use like Kiki juice or something to stop the ankles flopping around, because you can sort of push them in, but then you can't really get really like dramatic poses. He goes upright with a bit of an arch or stance or whatever. So watch this space. I will report back with potentially ways of fixing that once I've actually opened up a little bit more. So I'll come back to that. That's me.
Cool. Right, Jamie, do you want to go next, mate?
Yeah, I'll go next. So basically, this week I got the Zavi Collector's 4K Special Edition of Transformers the movie, and there you can see the sort of like in the picture there of what you can get. You know, you get the poster, you got the DVD, you've obviously got the case, you've got a nice little booklet, and you get some cards representing some artwork done by Matt Ferguson and some of the original artwork done for Transformers the movie in different countries. Now, there's the alternative version, which is basically nice and easy, because all you need to do is flip the poster over and you can take the DVD cover and flip it around, and you can have the iconic sort of Transformers UK original movie poster, you know. So it's actually quite a hard tell, because I do love Matt Ferguson's work, but then I do love that sort of nostalgic feel of the original Transformers UK comic, which just sort of pulls you in. Now, there was a question I kind of posed on Instagram, Twitter, and on Facebook, and this was the the original posters. You got the USA one, which had Cyclonus. You had the very artistic, but very much like Star Wars feel Japan one, full of spoilers, but I guess people would argue it'd been out for ages, but maybe in Japan they hadn't seen it yet because that's why they released it there. And then you've got the UK poster there. And for me, the clear winner, well, it's not surprising since when it comes to Twitter and Instagram and Facebook, the majority of our members are UK. So a lot of people went for the UK poster. And I can see why, because with me, it was quite stylish. A lot was going on. It's very much like the artwork from the cartoon, the movie. So, it just draws you in and you don't really know what's going on, but there's lots of excitement. The USA poster to me is more, I connect more with the music CDs. I just don't really like it. I don't think the artwork's that good. It has got Cyclonus, that's a bonus, but so does, the Transformers UK one. It's just, but a lot of people in the USA really like it because it just shows you the power of nostalgia, where obviously you ignore the far superior UK version. The Japanese version, I think it's okay. I think it's quite iconic, the iconic pose. I don't think the artwork's particularly that much better than the UK at all. I think the artwork in the UK is actually fine and much crisper and more to the cartoon, but it's still quite good. Now I'm just going to stop sharing and I'll just show you the sort of box here. So there it is here, and you've got some details on there, and that actually comes off because that's just a cover basically, just giving you the information about the DVD. And then inside you've got 3 things. First of all, you've got the DVD, and inside, which is pretty standard now, you've got your 4K DVD and you've got your Blu-ray DVD as well for people with Blu-ray, so they're not missing out. And the Blu-ray contains a lot of the extras, and there's quite a lot of extras: deleted scenes, trailers, TV spots, features, people talking about the story, storyboards. It's putting in quite a lot of effort. Also, you get a nice book, and in the book you get some nice artworks with little descriptions of what's going on. Some people have spotted the odd proofreading mistake, but these things happen. But it's just excellent to see all these sort of pictures and little descriptions detailing what these pictures signify. And it's quite a nice touch, quite cool. And then in here you get your poster, which is nicely wrapped up, and you've got some cards. Again, you've got the USA version, the wonderful, the best UK version, and the Japanese version. Excellent work from Matt Ferguson. And there you got Unicron. So some wonderful looking pictures there from Matt Ferguson. Now, I did watch the film last night, and I watched it with Mayline, and I just don't get bored of ever watching that film. And I think the tempo's so high, but it's just fast paced. It's quite a short film, although it was probably the standard movie time back then, way back in the 80s. But the thing I did notice, there wasn't really much of improvement over the Blu-rays. I didn't really see anything apart from when it came to the lights, but I don't know if that's more down to my TV. But when it came to anything with illumination, it really shone out, really stood out. It is quite grainy in some cases, but then it's an old animation way back from 1986, or 87, but it's released in the UK. But so that's to be expected, and there's still a lot of the sort of errors which are to do with signifying where there's been some editing. You'll see a line come down and stuff which you haven't fixed either. But it's still good, and it's only grainy if you're up to the TV almost kissing it. So as long as you're sitting back far, you're fine. You won't really notice. But apart from the lighting effects, I didn't really see much of a difference. It's all the content, and I guess it's something which is better fitted for your TVs now. But to be honest, most TVs do upscale so well. They were doing upscale well 10 years ago on your Blu-ray. I just don't personally see a difference. So I'm guessing there's going to be some people there who claim they do. Well, happy for you, but I didn't. But as I said before, the illumination was quite cool. But yes, that was my Transformers, the DVD, and I hope most people agree with me that Transformers, the UK version poster was the best.
The Japanese one did look good. I agree with you. The UK one was the best. The American one was what was on the front, I think, of my, not Video Gems, the guys who took it after that with the sheep, those ones. That was on the front cover.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know the one I mean, with the VHS and it's got
Yeah.
the sheep.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Japanese one, I don't think I've seen that much before, and it looks cool. I'd love that on the poster.
Yeah,
Why
because
did
it's
you
quite iconic, the Japanese one. You know, the whole pose. I've seen it done so many times.
We've seen the Japanese one before, haven't we?
Is this the
TV
Matt Ferguson
Lunan,
one? This
that's
one
it.
here I've got here. Jay, is that the Matt Ferguson one, or is that just a standard one?
That's not the standard one. Is that the steel edition you've got?
Steelbook.
Did you even know you had that?
Well, I forgot it's a pickup as well. This is a pickup. I forgot it's just there. It's there.
You forgot you had it.
Yeah.
It's a good pickup.
I thought it was I thought I ordered the Matt Ferguson one, and then I ordered it from Zavi, and I just realised that yours looks a bit fatter than mine. I was like, hang on a minute, I haven't opened it yet, and I was like, have I not got the Matt? Because I wanted the one with the artwork in it.
Well,
And,
that'll have that wouldn't have the. It might not have the artwork. It will tell you in the back. You know, but it doesn't really matter. You can download some of my pictures if you want.
But I want a little, I want the storybook. And the posters. I want all that.
Well, there's a fucking description.
I want
Even
it.
the
I
link
want
you
it.
to when it came out.
Well,
All you had to do
I
was
did.
click on it.
I did.
Oh, all right.
Hang on.
Ladies, come on.
Wait. Where did you order it? Was yours from Zavi as well?
This is a conversation you'd have on
This is a conversation
Messenger.
after the show.
Mine from Zavi.
Why are you just
joined
using
the
it as
Twitter
a...
account last week. It's your fault.
Matt Ferguson.
Right, Jamie, what else did you get? Was there... So, did you have something else?
Yes, I got something else, but I haven't opened it yet, so it's in the box still.
Live unboxing.
I know. No,
Yes, it is.
Just no.
well, I'll rip it open and see what it is.
No, you don't have to. No.
You don't have to if you don't want to. Don't feel the pressure.
Because I don't know what it
He's
is.
felt the pressure now. He's giving in to the
But see,
pressure.
I opened that box quick because of my superior muscles.
A lot of power in those wrists.
Dick ups. Still dick ups, Rohan. Sorry.
So I think it's an Alicon. Yes, it's an Alicon.
For fuck's
It's almost
sake.
like it's like almost like
Wrong.
it's hatched,
Has he just realised he ordered the wrong one?
it's hatched from an egg.
It's like 120 quid on eBay now. Wankers.
Still going on
I
about it.
told you the links, Alex. I gave you a couple
I
of times.
did.
You're supposed
I
to be
ordered the
good
right
at
one.
IT. You like fail
Zavi pushed it back, and then they've set the
Sucker.
wrong bloody thing. Oh, I'm so
Right,
annoyed.
I'll
cool.
order it for you.
Nice
Zaddy, you crazy, crazy cats.
I'll go first. Right, so what did I get first? I woke up literally at 3 o'clock in the morning, 3 o'clock, for no reason, checked my phone, and someone TF UK had posted that Galvatron was £32 or £33
Yep.
at Kapow, and ordered him. I went back to sleep. I completely forgot about it. Woke up today, and he was at the door. I've been working all day, so I haven't had a chance to bust him open. But I was looking forward to comparing him to Fanstoys, and he's going to look cool next to Cyclonus. The only thing is, I think he does look a little bit more detailed than Cyclonus. So he looks a lot closer to just looking at the box and looking at him to like the masterpiece than Cyclonus looks to Quietus, the Fanstoys one. So can't wait to get him out. Looking forward to that. I picked up some Bitcoin this week. I'm a bit addicted to that now. Some Ethereum and some SHIB and some ADA. So if you collect cryptocurrencies, please message me because I'm still exploring it and no one wants to talk to me about it. I posted a chat
There's
in
a
our chat.
reason.
Everyone just went quiet. Text my mates. They all went quiet. Yeah, no one's speaking to me about it. Don't buy SHIB. No, only bought a bit of SHIB. Right, cool. Next
good for
week
you.
on the crypto chat. Right, Andy, over to you.
Don't smoke that shib.
So, still talking about Zavi.
Yeah.
He's still muttering away. I got one pickup this week. And before I show it, I want to say thank you to Daniel Stevenson from the groups who actually sent me a PM because he'd spotted something that I said I was after. And he'd spotted it for sale in the groups. And well, actually, it was a Transformers group I wasn't actually already in. Anyway, he messaged me, and it was very kind of him. But I had already picked up an Armada Skywarp that I was talking about last week on the show. So
Nice.
yeah, I'm very, very pleased with him. He has been the bedside bot all week. And even though he is obviously not, we're not looking masterpiece standard here, are we? But it's just, I love it. I just love the look of it. And he's great. Yeah. And he's in great nick. And the fin on the top of his head isn't broken or bent or anything like that. And he's got his missiles. And I got it cheap. And the only thing he's missing is the minicon, which I can live without. But yeah. I'm very, very pleased to have picked up something that I was really wanting to get and actually getting something I really wanted instead of just like going to Smith and just buying a bot. And like, yeah, I'm just really pleased to get something that I wanted a lot. And yeah, it's great. But now the only slight problem is that now I want all of them. So I've already made contact with the seller of the other version of copy of this that Daniel had messaged me about, and he's got all the other molds of it. So now I may be going down a bit of a rabbit hole, but it's something to do, isn't it? You got to keep yourself entertained somehow. So yeah, Armada Skywalk. Do you know what? We'll discuss it later when we go over the legacy reveals and stuff. But I'm enjoying going through a little bit of older stuff. Yeah, well, it's nostalgia, but it's not nostalgia for the 80s stuff that obviously we know and love so much. It's more for stuff reaching back to when Liam was little and he first got into Transformers, and me and him were able to share the Armada cartoon together, and not so much Energon because it was shite, but it's Cybertron and some of the toys from Energon were good. I loved the Energon Tidal Wave. I will fight anyone about which is the best version of Tidal Wave. It's the Energon one. The colors on it are just perfect. They're just awesome. And I will die on that hill. But anyway, there you go. So my pickup this week is Transformers Armada Skywarp, and he is awesome. And of course, as we all know, becomes Cyclonus. Big hello to everybody in the chat about that one. I'm not going to bother transforming it or anything because I think it takes too long. So let's.
So I think Daniel knew what he was doing there, getting you down that rabbit hole, mate. You've dipped in.
It was very kind of him. It was very kind of him to message me and tell me. And it was that weird thing because I know Jamie, you've had this before, where people have watched the show and then messaged you because they knew you were looking for something. Yeah. And so this is not the first time, because obviously friends of ours have done it for me, but this is the first time where it was somebody I've never really interacted with much who just sent a message saying, hey, I watched the show, I saw you were after this, just so you know, there's somebody selling it on this group if you want to have a look. But I'd already picked one up. Literally, I think the night of the show, I went on eBay and saw one. I went, click, thank you very much. So it was very kind of him to offer that.
I want to apologise to Zavi because I think I ordered the wrong thing.
I'm shocked. This is my shocked face.
We're not surprised at all.
So, I love the way you played Zavi. I mean, don't get me wrong, Zavi can be crap sometimes. Sorry, Zavi. Not you personally,
If anyone wants to, this is a lovely steel book. If anyone wants to exchange this for the Matt Henderson version, I'm happy to exchange. I think they're about the same.
It's Matt Henderson.
Matt Ferguson.
Oh,
he's having Matt Henderson is what I love you.
Move it on, Paul. Let's move it.
If anyone's got a copy,
Paul's too busy watching the Arsenal.
I don't want. I would like to have a copy of the Matt Ferguson. I can't find one. So
are they now like? Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be checking out the latest but unannounced HasLab crowdfunding project from Takara Tomy. As you can see, I've got a copy of it before anyone's even heard of it. And, oh no, that's not supposed to be in there. Mom, I've messed up my video again.
I'm so glad you interrupted me for that. And you're muted and don't know it. You know this.
Fuck my face. Fuck my fucking
Stop
face.
it, you'll start rumours.
Right. So I don't know where this has gone, but it's made me really weird.
Can I ask my question now?
Sorry, what was it? All I had was
Henderson, the Matt Ferguson
Are we still talking about the Savvy
release? Version sold out? I just want to know if it's sold out now.
It's sold out.
I can't find it anywhere. It's sold out. So
just hang on. They'll probably do a second run of it or something.
If anyone's got buyer's regret, let me know. So
If anyone,
All right, then.
if anyone wants to listen to a podcast where we don't talk about the 4K release of Transformers the show, I'll be releasing that soon. Every 10 minutes you're talking about. Right.
I did a good job there. Don't let him spoil it.
You've done an excellent job, and then they ruined it with their
We're just asking important questions, Paul. Important questions that people will want to know if they can get it. That's an important question. I mean,
right.
his mock-up, that's on him.
I'm just
Love
vamping
you,
because
Alexis.
I'm still waiting for. I forgot. I didn't realise I hadn't downloaded. Rohans
So
Corner.
Phil for time. Can I? Well, there is one other thing then, because that did come out of the TF,
Yes, please, go
PulseCon
for
thing. Did anybody watch the bit about the fan vote for the Beast
I
Wars?
set up.
No, not Beast Wars. Sorry, the Kingdom toy.
Yes,
and the winner.
Tigertron. How did Tigertron
What?
win it? You know,
He's not.
but
He's not
the
even out
Beast
anywhere,
Wars
is he?
one is dodgy. I mean, who was the Beast Wars win it again?
Was it Inferno?
Inferno.
Was it Inferno? It was Inferno.
Yeah, it was Inferno. I haven't even seen fucking Inferno.
Let it out. Vent,
Yeah.
Jay. Release the rage.
It's the same people who voted Blaster, the G1. We keep bringing out picks. Oh God, no!
Yeah, I was surprised by the was it Tigertron? I was watching it. I was just waiting for him to say Cyclonus because they said,
Yeah.
"Oh, a clear winner with
That's what I was-
23% or something." I was thinking, "Oh, that's not that big." And then they said Tigertron. What, the one that you are just really releasing that you want people to buy? What a complete coincidence!
It just goes to show you how irrelevant social media really is when it comes to these voting things. Because there's no way Tigertron should be the winner, but he's not really been out.
How's it coming along, Paul? Keep feeling.
Mick Cullihan as well said in the chat that Planet Express releasing Rung this weekend as well, apparently. So
Did you order the correct one now?
Yeah.
Fuck off.
Have you ordered this one? Let's go with the wrong one.
Right, we're going to do
The
Rohans Corner now.
wrong was that? The wrong rung.
Rohan.
Rohan.
It's a bit of a morbid subject, really, isn't it? Oh, crap. Wait, hang on a minute. That's not death. That's wrath. No, war. No, that's wrath. This is death. No, that's not death. That's wisdom. Wisdom? Oh, yeah, that's the one. Death.
Death! Death is coming. Death is here. Death is outside. There's no escape. Who's that knocking at the door? Yes. It's death. Let it be. Who will be next? You? Maybe you.
I, Starscream, the pride of the Cybertron War Academy, never, do you hear me? Never!
Okay, hold on. Keep calm. Don't change the channel. It's not what you think. I've got a point. Honestly.
Did you really think you could fool me? Did you?
Throw hand! Welcome back to the corner. This week I've managed to extract Gavatron and that bone-faced guy from my house, and we're back to normal. Except, normally I do a lot of videos on Transformers the cartoon, on toys, and some discussions about various different bits and pieces in the collecting world. Something you may not have recognized me for talking about a lot is Transformers the movie. And it's a big part of the Transformers lore, if you like, and a big part of my history. I think I probably watched the movie more times than I've watched any of the episodes. And the reason why I bring this up is because last week, before Bonehead and Gav invaded my house, there was a post put up by a fellow YouTube community member, Bill Ledsome, who's also a follower of mine, thanks Bill, who put up a post about some storyboards that have been expanded upon and made into a actual video on YouTube by SCI Batron. And if you haven't seen this video, it's playing up here in the corner right now. It's a great little scene that was cut from the original G1 movie. The storyboards are still available and you can see them online, but they're starting to reanimate them, and hopefully they're going to actually fill them in and color them and make a little sort of mini epilogue out of them. And this got me thinking, The movie was a great one scene kind of fight between the Autobots and the Decepticons, and then obviously you had all the other bits and pieces that went on with Megatron and getting converted by Unicron into the new Decepticons, and Unicron himself attacking all of the planets, Cybertron, so on and so forth, learning about the Junkions. However, because there's so much action, so much storyline in that movie itself, there are a whole plethora of characters that A, we don't get to see, B, who never reappear again in season 3 or 4 or onwards, and C, just never actually get to have any more story arc. And it's got me thinking that, hey, I would love to see some stories, some mini spin-off stories of some of those characters as to what's happened to them, even if it were the case that those characters were going to be killed off in the movie or in a big battle scene or even before the movie. That would be epic. I mean, maybe that's just my mentality, and I'm sinister like that, and I like to think about these things, bots dying and so on and so forth. But it's part of... In 1986, Transformers took a bit of a dark turn, didn't it? Lots of killing, lots of death, lots of weird and wonderful alien characters. It was awesome. Parcel of the Transformers franchise now. You can't have a new wave of toys without killing off some of the old ones or retiring them or doing something with them. And I think it would be good for some of those characters who had a lot of screen time in Generation 1, and even the ones who didn't, to actually get some story arc. Not just that, but it would actually help some of the collectors out there to get a series or snippets of a series which they could then, attach themselves to. They would have some feeling towards. So I started thinking, there are so many characters in Generation 1, Seasons 1 and 2, who just absolutely disappear. I mean, obviously we have the ones who get killed on screen, your Brawns, your Ironhide, Ratchet and Prowl, and the other bots that are seen dying in the movie, like Optimus Prime, of course, but there are so many more. And there are also those who didn't appear at all. Look at your Omega Supremes or your Reflectors or, Snarl from the Dinobots. Where was he? Probably in one scene, I think. But it would be cool to see some of those characters and some of the other ones that didn't make it to the movie or who didn't even get a lot of limelight in Generation 1, like the female Autobots, Alpha Trion, these sorts of characters who could have further story arcs to play. And I know Alpha Trion's in Vector Sigma at this point, but again, he could have some sort of story arc to play. And I don't want to see all the bots just being killed. I think that would be quite boring, although it would make for an epic fight scene, I'm sure. What I would like to see is some of the bots be, going off world and doing what Sandstorm and his cohorts did, finding a new planet to live on, or finding a deep dark bunker to hide in, which they could actually come out in season 3, and other episodes in Generation 1 where they go into the depths of Cybertron, like Dweller in the Depths, and other episodes where they have to actually find elements within the depths of Cybertron to help their cause, or to stop some evil plan by Galvatron, for example. There's great scope on a huge planet like Cybertron to have bots who are hidden out, either retired, doing something different, have little spin-off stories for all of these characters. So my question to all of you is, if you had the opportunity to take a character, who would you like to see written in with a spin-off series, a very short epilogue or a short script or a short series for that character to showcase what happened to them either before the Great War or what happened to them after the Great War, where they went and where they died and where they did. And also, to that point, who would you not like to see anything from? Who would you just like to see the story just end there, disappear? Maybe they're killed off, maybe they're decommissioned, maybe they're reformatted by Unicron at another point in time, or some other issue has occurred to them between 1984 or 5 or 6 or whatever it was that the scene was set in for Generation 1 Season 2 and 2005. And I think that this would be a really great play for a new series. Instead of just regurgitating the same old storyline again and again and again with the same characters again and again and again, let's pick up on those characters who didn't get the limelight. What do you all think? Write into Transformers the Show, tell the guys, and maybe they'll even discuss it. For another week, I've been Rohan on Rohan's Corner. Catch you again next week. Back to the studio.
Hey boys, we've been rumbled. Well, let's bounce.
10th episode. What an episode! What an episode! That was really good. Oh fuck! There we go. Yeah, no, brilliant. Alexis, you wanted to talk about the Blu-ray some more?
Awesome. Yeah, totally. No, there were. I just said I wrote a really good video there. I think the story arcs are very important, and I don't think everyone's aware that if you actually look into it, there is actually a lot more story arcs as well. Like you see a lot more characters that actually have so Mirage, for example, spoiler alert, gets blown up by Megatron, and there's a lot more in that battle which they just cut. So like you see Hot Rod make his way through a whole hall of the Decepticons to get up to Prime before it happens, and even before that as well. There's a lot more in there. So I think if you want to look at the story arcs, there is there not as well animated as that. But if you Google it, you can actually look at and it does flow into. People have actually built videos where it flows into that as well, which is quite important. Just the other part as well. Omega Supreme did appear, I think, in season 3, didn't he? He did.
Yeah.
On an asteroid, I think he did. But it would be cool what he said at the end. You can imagine, like, if it told the story of lesser bots going through the same story, like who were there behind the scenes. Didn't another movie do that? Almost like they told. Was it like a spin-off, or like they did
Sliding
like
Doors? The 1992 epic.
You're basically describing More Than Meets the Eye.
Well, isn't the one which
IDW.
Isn't there? But no, I know not the Spotlight one, but isn't there like?
No, I mean the whole of More Than Meets the Eye is about all the side characters that nobody cares about going off and doing something, with the possible exception of like Rodimus and you throw in Ratchet. But I mean, there's loads of random bots.
No, I mean it tells a story of. So there's another. It's either a TV show or it's a movie which tells a story of of the main story arc, but behind the back scenes of everything. So you might see in the background the main scene, but it sort of plays off on the characters which go through to the end, which survived the whole movie. And
is Jamie trying to talk to us? Because I don't think he realises he's been muted for the last 2 minutes.
I think Jamie's just meditating.
Oh, sorry, Jamie. I'm not ignoring you. You're on mute. Or you're
we're not ignoring you, mate.
Hollyoaks After Dark.
Or he's not talking to us. He's ranting.
Just going.
He's ranting.
I was just saying there's been lots of sci-fi shows and TV shows where they've followed the arc of the lesser characters, to highlight what they actually do when the big main characters out there being all heroic, and even episodes where like Xander from Buffy the Vampire Slayer has actually saved the world, where the other heroes don't even think he's done anything that day. So that kind of trope's been done lots, and it's quite successful, and it's always quite amusing to be done within the greater part of the series.
I assume that Alexis meant there'd already been a Transformers version of that.
Not Transformers.
No,
but you
can
imagine you could always have like what happened to Cliffjumper going through Unicron as an example.
And the Transformers UK comic used to do it as well. They would have because they had so much filler space, they would do side stories where they would focus on a story of a character who was part of a big event, and you could see it through their eyes. Some of the Pretenders had that.
That's it.
Scenario.
Yeah, Double Dealer. That was his only appearance in the UK comic.
Was there another ship that made it away from Waterspot City that we didn't see? That then obviously led up to Cybertron and obviously helped battle Unicron in the background.
What happened to Snarl the whole time? Where was he?
There we go.
And you had Secrets and Lies as well, which delved into what was really happening through the main story, which we saw. And that was the whole entire point of like Secrets and Lies, which was a 4-part miniseries.
Sunstreaker, how was he there helping to put up roadblock signs, and then all of a sudden on the shuttle with Optimus Prime? We need these stories to tell us what happened.
Devastator makes a good point. There was the Lower Decks episode of Star Trek TNG.
Yeah.
Not the series, the episode.
I've seen that.
Both are excellent. Both are. Beyond Compare. Right, it is
just
now
like
time.
The collector's edition.
Oh my God!
Let's talk about that, Jamie.
Fucking quitting.
I'm gonna hit you with my steel, but we'll see you next.
Right, it's time for Fourplay.
These are sex people.
What do you mean?
They're sex swappers. Lynn, this is DEFCON 1. Look. Don't make the same noise as them. They'll think you want to join in.
Lynn. Look at Lexus.
Where's
choose this night.
He's looking for
perusing.
He's clearly prepared. That's what we love. Yeah. It's the preparation he puts into it.
I forgot
right, so in Fourplay, we each choose...
have one figure this week, then?
Don't you work at home?
I do. I have no photographs.
Sorry, Paul.
Right, so it's in Fourplay. We each choose a figure each. It's just one character though, and tonight's character is the king of them all. It's Optimus Prime. So tonight we are each well, 3 of us have chosen. One of us is choosing a character, which is Optimus Prime. Right, I will kick off then. I'll go first with my Optimus Prime. So I don't know if it's my favourite, but it's definitely one of my favourites, and I'll spotlight myself so you can see his girth and his size because he's a big boy. There we go. So it is. He's a bit dusty. It's Fans hobby Power Baser. So Power Master Prime. Just an absolute god of a Transformer. I've always wanted him, and we went to a quiz in Newcastle. It was TFN meetup. I think it was like 2018 or 2019.
2019, wasn't it? In the November, I think.
Yeah. Was it just before
was it
COVID?
2019?
Yeah,
I think it was. Yeah, it must have been. It wasn't 2020. So it was 2 years ago, and we were with RJ, who's a font of all Transformers knowledge, and he won the Transformers quiz. And the guy who donated not this guy, but it was a Fans hobby Power Baser, and RJ,
that was the main prize, wasn't it?
He let me hold him for a couple of seconds, like, fuck, he's amazing. Just such, and he's got the Marvel head as well, and how many Transformers, how many Primes do we have in our collections which pay homage to the Marvel UK comics? This one does. He's a bit fiddly to transform, especially putting the head. If you transform him from the back all the way over to get him in, it's a right pickle to tie him all together. But once you've done it, he's in this mode. Just looks immense. Even on camera there, you can see how shiny and glorious he is with both sets of his guns. He fits in, so this is almost like having a Masterpiece Prime you can take out and be Optimus Prime. And in trailer mode, he just smacks of the original G1 one. Yeah, that's my Prime. Right.
I do wish Hasbro would release him because it would be awesome.
Well, do you know what? I've got him next to some Fans Toys, and he looks probably a little bit too small, I'd say, for a proper Masterpiece. I don't think he's a million miles away from a Chug size. I think you can get away with him in Masterpiece and probably Chug collection if you wanted to.
Power Baser?
Yeah.
Well, you've got the Make Toys version, which I think is... Make Toys is legend scale, they say, but he's massive still. He's like 10 inches tall. So I think the Make Toys again, scale in the eye of the beholder. It's like, because again, if you remember the Marvel Comics version...
I've not heard that classic for a while.
No. Right, well, listen, right, okay. The Marvel Comics Prime
all the
was only about... if you look at the size of him, he wasn't much bigger than the original Prime, was he? He was a...
Yeah, but sometimes I think that was more the artist's interpretation rather than what he was.
It varied a bit, didn't it? His size.
Yeah, because he was meant to be combined with his trailer to be even bigger and more powerful.
Yeah,
and an upgrade next to Galvatron.
Just imagine if we get one in Legacy, because we haven't been shown an Optimus Prime from Legacy. I know we've got the Laser G2 one, but I mean, like the G1 style one. Just give us Power Master Optimus Prime and make him basically like that.
I do like the G2 Prime just because he reminds me of Power Master Prime.
Do you think?
You should get the Fans Hobby one. It's cool. It's probably in my top 3 Primes. I'm not sure if it's my number 1. Well, it could be. I think someone is going to show my number 1. I'm not going to say who it is.
Well, hopefully hopefully next week I'll have Tortor to show off because Lynn's bought me that today.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it came in stock. It was the last of the MMC figure I needed for the sort of was it D Squad, what they're called?
DJD.
Yeah,
Decepticon Justice Division.
Yeah. You know, so yeah, that's cool.
Don't you want to get the Make Toys version though? Sorry, yeah, you do, don't you? You're looking for it, aren't you? I swear you said you were looking for it.
I'm not fussed. It's not. I'm into cryptocurrency now. Right. What do you, Alexis? Did you choose, or do you need some more time?
No. I went for MMC Orion Pax. I can
grab him. I'll put Andy on to do his first, and then you can. Oh no, it's quite close.
So I got some images anyway. I found my old photographs of him, but this is the guy. I suppose I picked him. Overall, he might not be the probably most memorable Prime that's been out there in a while. The IDW version of Orion Pax, but I thought he's the figure that, as a toy, he's impressed me more than most bots out there in a long time. I lost a little bit. I had a little bit of frustration with like the hype around certain bots coming out. Obviously, there's always that going around and sort of just sort of like all the photographs and everything, and you get it in like that Springer, like the Apache, like everyone hyped up that and then loose ankles. I'm like, well, what the fuck? I can't even stand up properly. So this guy here is probably the most articulate bot you ever want. He's got the most amazing like hands. I mean, if they were die cast, it'd be even more amazing. But they actually gave you spare fingers because they knew you were going to be fiddling with his fingers a lot. And you know how much I love a hand, right? So
I do. I like a spare finger at TFN.
Simple transformations, but he's just got it's even like his abs, right? Even go side to side, like in a sense, like he's got so much like just movement around it. You can just do whatever you want. So I'm going to quickly share his screeny. The photographs I took from whenever it was back when.
Cool. Just once you get to your screen, just say Alden Tolbert asked what's your target for Transformers Legacy for you guys. We're actually going to have our discussion tonight is all about the Legacy Transformers, so we will get onto that after Fourplay. Go on, Alexis. Oh, it's me, isn't it? Share.
So very quickly, I just wanted to share off some images that I took of him being extremely articulate, where you can have him doing he's actually on one leg here, jumping up, and then again, what's he jumping for? Obviously, the Matrix. So, and the Matrix, he actually comes with a Matrix that goes into his chest as well. So his chest does open up, and he can actually do the full on. It's not a Prime if you can't do that, right? Oh, wrong way. Here we go. Here he is again. I haven't got many pictures of him standalone. So next to the Generation Toy Prime. So again, he scales very well if you want to have a PAX version of him as well. He also scales very well against the other MMC versions or other Chug versions that are available as well at the time, like Generations Brainstorm as an example as well. I haven't done any more photographs of him in his alt mode because it's okay. But again, basically, most people have seen the scene, they've read the piece where he's upset about with World, he's obviously the police officer, and then World comes and basically challenges him. And you can actually, he's so strong, you can actually, as a toy this is, you can quite easily just hold a bot in different angles. He's just so posable in that respect as well. So he's really, I mean, the pictures speak for themselves, I think. You can get him into whatever sort of pose you want. And again, scaling with all the other sort of esque figures there as well. So I'm literally flicking through these, but I'll whack these up on the Instagram as well. People want to see them. So, but I think he's just as a figure, I think he's just everything you'd really want in a figure. Prime or no Prime, he's just a really good figure. So MMC knocked out the park, and I really hope that they continue to actually build figures at a level of this caliber, because I'll continue to buy them in that case. Thank you.
Cool. Right, who would like to go next? Andy?
Yeah, I'd love to. I'm so glad you suggested me. Yes, I'll go I won't take too long. I just wanted to show discussion about the Ultimate Prime figures. You can't not mention obviously G1.
Nice.
Now this is a reissue version of G. My G1 is a broken down piece of shit, much like myself. So there was no point showing that off because it's seen better days. This is the 2008 reissue, the Transformers Universe reissue, which normally lives in his box on display. But he has come out just for tonight to say hello, and that is iconic because of what it is. But I couldn't honestly say it's kind of the best version or the one I would want to show off. And it's going to be a bit boring because we've been here before, haven't we? But the one I would say is still my favourite version of Optimus Prime is still Power Master Optimus Prime.
Legendary.
Again, this isn't my original one because my original one is all faded, and it shows the wear of being well loved and played with as a child. But this is the reissue one that my son Liam got me for Father's Day the other year. That also came with what's he called? Apex Bomber, because they're not allowed to call him God Bomber in America because religion. And it's just iconic. It's just, there's something about him, even though he's a brick, and he is a complete brick of a figure. I mean, you're talking about articulation, Alexis, and the incredible articulation on that Orion Pax MMC figure. This is like the polar opposite. The arms move a bit. If you really want, you could have him do the splits, and that's about it, really. But this was my Prime as a child. It's still the one I love. His character in the comic books was the one I enjoyed reading the most, and I thought went on a journey the most. I mean, because he'd come back from death, he had a lot of doubts about himself and his ability. And I look at this, and that's still what I see, even though, you could pick 1,000 faults probably with it, but it's just iconic to me, and I absolutely love this still. And if I had a power baser like Paul, I'd probably say it was power baser, but because I don't, because this is the one that stays in my heart all the time, this is the one I would pick. Power Master Prime, love his robot mode, his combined mode, even liked the actual normal robot mode, even though it had less articulation than the original Prime figure, which I still find bizarre considering it came about 3 years later. Or was it 4 years later? Well, probably it's more than 4 years, isn't it? Because we always think of, Optimus Prime was created in 1984. Well, the character was, but the toy had existed before then. But yeah, just an amazing figure. Base mode, I enjoyed it as a kid. You can muck around with it. Truck mode, I love the big cannons. I just the proper guns that again to me are almost as iconic as his original toys weapon. And of course, this version has the chrome, the lovely chrome and everything.
It is shiny. It's very shiny.
Oh, he's so shiny. Oh, he's like my balding head. He's so shiny. It's lovely, and I love it. Honestly, I absolutely not my balls, shiny balls. Oh, it's good that's where your mind went, Alexis. Shiny balls.
Give it over. 1 and 2, back and forth. That's to get the.
There's a question for the chat. Which member of the team has the shiniest balls? You decide. But yeah. I love this, and I love the figure, and I love kind of what it represents to me. And I want Hasbro desperately. I still don't understand. I know we had a Power Master style Optimus Prime in was it Titan's Return?
Yeah, it was good.
It was okay. It was. I still
hollow.
like it, but it's not. It wasn't great. And this guy deserves a great version of it. And Power Baser is close to that, I think, from everything you guys have told me, from what I saw of it at that meetup when RJ won it, which I'm still not bitter about at all. But, we need a proper decent version of this. And hopefully, in an upcoming Transformers line, we will get one. But we'll discuss that later.
We will if Mark has anything to say with it.
Come on, Mark. You know you want to.
Yeah. So I bought this for my boy.
Roll another fat one. Let's get it done.
I bought the cab and the base at a car boot for £2.50, and I bought the head.
This is a bargain.
I bought the head for a tenner off eBay. So I don't have any guns. So when they put it into base,
did it have high Q? Was it high Q? The little
high Q.
Yeah. No. I bought high Q.
Did it have both his red arms?
Yes, I bought high Q separately, and I bought the head separately for £10 each. So it's costing me $22.
Weren't you looking to get the box set, Andy?
Yeah, but that box set is a bit of a nightmare to pick up for a reasonable price, and I don't want to pay the eBay prices. And every time it's come up for sale in one of the groups, because basically when I'm at work, I can't be on my phone all the time. God damn you, let's go back into lockdown. So every time I'm at work, I'll turn my phone and I'll have notifications from you and Alexis and all this about somebody's selling this. Bollocks, I missed it again.
Andy,
my next option is to go to Jamie's house and rob him.
Just give us a list and we'll sort it for you. Just give us a list, and when you're at work, we'll make sure it's there.
It's all bought up. To be fair, and I want to say this as well. A quick shout out because Alexis tagged me for a Cadmos, but again, at work, couldn't see it. Ian Arrowfire, he tried to go in for it as well, and God bless his soul, not long after you'd sent your message, Alexis, I think Ian Arrowfire had sent me a message saying, I know you were after it as well. I'm happy to stand aside if you want to have it first, if it's still available, which was such a nice thing of him to do. And it didn't matter in the end because somebody else had beaten us to it, both of us. Yeah. But it was just really nice of him to offer to do that. So thank you very much, Ian. I do appreciate it and appreciate you.
He's never offered to do that for me.
No, well, he doesn't like you. I'm joking. I'm joking. As far as you know.
On that base mode, the base mode for Power Master G1 Prime still looks fucking a lot better than the new.
It's the same. You can't say that. It's the same. It's Prime doing the splits. That's what it is. And then some panels open out, and that's what Starsaber is. Don't you slag off Haslab Starsaber just because you missed out. Don't you slag it off.
I was going to say something else, but you
go watch your Incorrect Abby DVD. Go on.
Right. Cool. Okay. So, Andy, I agree with you so much. He was such an awesome G1 toy, and I got him when I was in the early 90s as well. Oh God, I loved him, and I couldn't believe how cool that it was that it kind of had the original Prime in him, didn't it? As
It's
that
two
Optimus
toys for the
Prime.
price of one. You get
It
the
is.
face and everything.
Did you ever
It's
cut
just
his
great.
legs up when you're older so you could move the legs? Because you know how.
Do you know what? I thought about it. I did, but I'm a bit like Jamie in that like sullying the beauty of Hasbro just makes me twitch. I just can't do it. It's like when you have the add-on kits, and we could have a whole discussion about that another week. I just can't. I can't do it.
I've done it. I broke through it. I gave him multiple legs so he could stand backwards and forwards. But
wow,
I was
articulation.
I was a bit of a rogue. My friends referred to me as the rogue, the complete rebel who
you rebel
broke his Transformers. Cool, Jamie. I've got something ready to stream for you.
Yeah, just show it. Yeah. So my Transformer Netflix is
take my hand and look at first. Fuck off,
piss off. Fuck off back. Fuck off, Bumblebee, rather. That was great.
Airfry's Optimus Prime Netflix version. To me, it's the best version of Prime. I like the transformation. It's the very traditional transformation. But it's because he just looks like Optimus Prime. He's just got the sort of the. Some people might say the legs are a bit long, but you know what? I don't care. I think they're just perfect. But it's the eyes. The eyes really shine out here, as well. When you compare it to the normal Airfry's or even the Siege version, the eyes can be quite dark and hard to see. And it's just like Hasbro just kept on releasing us with Optimus Primes until eventually they came up with the ideal Optimus Prime, which is this. And he's just very posable, very posable. He's got articulated hands, fingers that open and close, which, to be honest, I start to feel like it should be the default for any figure above Voyager size.
Yeah.
And I know they could do it with Fourplay Optimus Deluxe. So I think it's something they should just start to make of the standard. And I wouldn't mind if we had to start to pay more, because I do think when you start to look at the new reveals, especially when you've got figures like this, I mean, we wouldn't have dreamed of having this figure like 3 years ago. Is that, we see this thing like mini masterpieces, they are catching up. And I think there's only so much they can start to do within the budget they've got. When you start to see a lot of hollowness and that, which this figure doesn't have, by the way. This figure is completely in contact. As far as I'm concerned. I'll stop streaming now. But yeah, so I just think if we're going to move forward, we're just going to have to accept that even the price increases, we're going to have to pay more for a certain standard. I was kind of hoping the new Studio Series 86 would be a kind of a benchmark for giving us that option. I think the trouble starts to be when we start to feel like we must buy them all. And we don't. We can pick in and choose what we really like. We don't need to complete them all. Because the one thing I always say is lots of people, especially if there's a new Optimus Prime coming out, you'll start to maybe see this guy up in the sales group as people are moving to get the new Prime. But yes, Airfry's Netflix Optimus Prime. To me, the best version. Wonderful articulation, easy transformation, eyes which are fantastic when it comes to photographs. You can really see that face, you see that expression. The blaster gun is fantastic, nice color. It's not painted as well, so it's not going to scrape when it's in those hands. This is the figure you want to get. The only negative is, and I don't really think it's a negative, is it didn't come with a trailer. But if any of you, like me, and you've got other Optimus Primes, you could use other trailers for that, so there's no problem there. Also, the Netflix version did suffer from the fact you were forced to buy it in a pack. It came with 2 weaponizers, which you may have not been too keen on. Not the best weaponizers. They looked like piss-coloured. Someone got some new
did.
Who doesn't love piss-coloured battle masters?
That'll do.
Actually, I didn't. I flogged mine.
That reminds me of all the golden showers we used to do in college.
Anyway, that's a different show.
Nostalgia. Yeah, so that was my little brief synopsis of Optimus Prime Netflix.
I should have grabbed mine from my bedroom.
Yes.
I couldn't be.
I mean, look at that pose. That pose is just sexy. You just couldn't imagine you'd have a figure doing that. If you were to show me that 3 years ago and say, that's a new masterpiece, Optimus Prime, smaller scale masterpiece, I would believe you.
He probably is my best Optimus Prime, and I don't have MP44. think he's better than MP44. He's like £320 cheaper, but I don't have MP44, so I can't compare him. But he's just so lovely and easy to transform. The transformation's just off. I've already waxed lyrical about how good he is. But no, that was awesome. Thank you. So Andy from ATTV MUFC's in the chat saying Transformers and football. LOL. We do like a bit of football, don't we? Especially you when Newcastle were doing well.
Many years ago. Let's go back.
Ed said no.
Was YouTube around then?
YouTube? I don't think the internet had been invented then. Oh, we had dial-up. Dial-up. Remember that?
Some good honourable mentions.
RJ, you won't know what that is, you swan.
Magic Square Prime. Magic Square Prime's awesome. MP10, classic MP10. Right, so final bit, which is now the discussion. So, discussion time.
Oh, yes.
We now return to the Transformers.
Andy, so you're going to have to take off your trousers and warm up your news hands.
I was just going to say, do you want me to share some pics and possibly also some Transformers as well?
Yeah. Careful what you share.
So you do have to be careful.
We now return to the news.
Right.
That's quite a good voice.
It was, actually. We now return to the Transformers.
Talk to me about this.
Well, it's legacy, isn't it? So our discussion tonight is what we feel about it, what we think about it. Obviously, me and Jamie, I suppose, are more of the Chug collectors, although, Paul, you dabble. Alexis buys them all for his children. For his children.
So explain it first. Take us through. So if someone's never seen this before, what is this?
So this is the Transformers Legacy line. It's the new Transformers Chug line that's going to be coming out. It's going to be an amalgamation and a mixture of lots of different Transformers iterations, so not just G1. Yes, a multiverse, you might say, yes. That will include G1 characters, and everything's done in, apparently, as they describe it, a G1 style. Yeah. So we've got down the front here Transformers Prime RC, but again, done in a slightly G1 style. You've got Drag Strip, which is probably, of all the reveals, probably the one I'm most enjoying and most excited about. You've got Kickback, so we're getting the Insecticons at a deluxe scale and much more G1-esque. We've got Bulkhead done in a G1 style, which, that set some people off. That really did. Skids, which, again, some people were really happy. Skids getting some love, because for years he didn't. And then I remember Thew doing that video about Skids and saying he doesn't get any love. And we've had almost nothing but Skids figures since. And a G2 Laser Prime, which comes with the trailer, comes with everything. And we'll flick through the photos as we're talking. So if you missed the news at the start, or you've not seen it again, or want to see it again, we'll have a look. And that's about it. Thoughts, opinions?
Oh, sorry.
This is Skids.
I thought there was a question. Do we get to choose if we want to see it or not?
No, you don't. Anybody watching does, because they can just, please don't go though.
No,
So
I'm
starting off
being
with Skids. That's a great. It's a case of great Transformer shit weapon. So
I was just wondering what you were going to say. I thought you were going to say that's a shit Transformer.
Shit weapon. No, I thought
they've tried to go with. They've gone with an Energon infused weapon theme, haven't they? Because they talked about it on the reveals. I think the Laser G2 Optimus Prime comes with a matrix which can be plugged into, I think it's his axe, and it's supposed to give it an Energon boost, which I presume is the gimmick with these weapons as well that we see here, or at least this one that we see here. Yeah, it's for the kids, and some fans will go for that. Is that me, or is that very much like Earthrise / Netflix
the long legs,
Prime,
isn't it?
With
long legs.
The legs look really like the same component, and then they've just changed. Obviously, made some aesthetic changes for the top half.
You said G2 Laser Legs Prime.
The
Laser Legs Prime.
I've got him here, and the legs go back exactly the same as the legs on Earthrise Prime. Those
there
fives,
you go. You see,
not joking, they are identical. I don't know if you.
I spotted it first.
Well,
TM
why
trademarks. Get it on Twitter. Tell everyone.
They're identical.
Because it's a different Prime. I mean, it makes sense from a business point of view. Save money.
But the back end's the same, right?
That's what I hear.
Hey, what happens at TFN stays at TFN.
Oh, please don't start that again. Oh, big shout out to all our fans. We might not be everybody's cup of coffee. That's all I'll say. That's fine. Anyway, there's the base mode. It's almost like you just open up a trailer. Comes with a repair arm. They really bigged up the repair arm. It's just a repair arm. But anyway, it's got it. His truck mode there. His wheels look a bit small to me, but maybe I'm being picky. I don't know. Jamie, you're probably even more than me, probably our chug connoisseur. How do you feel about these? I'm guessing you are in love with them and you're going to collect every single one. But did you see any kind of holes or anything wrong with it?
Well, at first, I didn't like the idea, of Bulkhead. And then the more I managed to see the character, the more I fell in love with it and the more I actually wanted it and I really liked it. When I saw RC, it was instantly, I must have this figure. Skids I liked. Skids remind me, because, Skids was very much part of the Time War story in the sense that he was one of the poor souls that got put back into that weird universe, so he was always quite centered in the UK comics. So then, this is brilliant, and he looks very real to what the Skids character we know about. And, even when Mark was talking about it, you can see the love and the enthusiasm he had for the original character. That guy had been brought up reading the comics, the Marvel UK comics. Even Dragstep, which has had some negative comments. I love the fact he's got 6 wheels in the car, and the fact is he's a combiner. We're going to be seeing a combiner with this guy. So some people might want to be buying 2 copies of this Dragstep. One for the individual team mode and one is a combined mode. But some people say, no, I don't like the actual look of him. But, I do. And I think he's a big step up from what the combiner was, Dragstep.
Definitely, yeah. Definitely.
And I think, there's obviously something going in this legacy line. It'd be interesting to see what the price points are. The price points this day I'm looking at, because I've been trying to pre-order this stuff, look quite reasonable. For me,
how much is he?
About 20 quid or something like that.
I think 20 quid for a deluxe is going to be the standard from this point forward. I think people need to get their heads around that. It's just the way it is. Prices have gone up.
I'll have a better answer when I've gone through the pre-orders, because obviously the pre-orders have came up while I've been doing this show. So people will probably have a much better idea. But like RC is like £19.99 in Hasbro Pulse, and I'm sure In Demand, Kapow Toys, Collectors Den, Robot Recruits, all the other UK stores will be getting them with the similar prices. I just think it's immense, and I think it's great to see the legacy line and this idea of bringing in this multiverse of characters. We can just start grabbing all the favourite characters that they want, ignore the fan votes, because they obviously know bugger all when it came to Tigertron and freaking Inferno winning, not even the night, so yes.
Can I just say, because you might have looked at these pictures a bit more than me, because I've had a bit of a mad day rushing around work and everything else, and then I literally sat down, downloaded the photos, which was the first time I'd really had a chance to have a look at them, and then obviously we've come on and done the show. I didn't notice anything obvious on him that made me think that you can tell that's a combiner limb. I thought that it looked pretty clean, relatively speaking.
The chest thing seems to me like it's going to lift up and a bit will come out to be a connector. But I honestly don't know. And I was so excited because I was listening to Mark, and Mark was going, we'll have more surprises for you when the rest of the team come out. And I can't imagine them having the team come out and not combine.
I thought the combiner port for him, for the arm, came out the back. Remember, it used to be a head fold back, and the chest was actually on the outside. So they're not displaying the back, as you said, potentially deliberately to not show off the combiner connectivity.
If you watch the video back though, they put a like it might be the actual finished thing, but what looks like a prototype version onto a turning table, and then but they don't spread. I don't think they splashed out for it to be moving. They just turn it themselves, if I remember correctly. But anyway, it turns, and I think you can see the back of it. And again, it was like there was nothing. Just from that quick glance, because I was trying to watch. I was walking the dog at the time. I was down in the middle of a field walking in the dark because it was dark by the time I'd been able to take the dog out, and looking and trying to catch. Oh, I've missed all this. So I'll try and watch a bit of it, see it back. And it was interesting. I have to say, overall, for the whole thing, I don't want to say I was disappointed, but I thought they were going to reveal more than they did. I think they revealed the Wave 1 bots, but I was kind of hoping we'd get a bit more than that.
Do you think that's because of the spoilers they've had?
But if it's the spoilers, and obviously the spoilers have leaked some of the stuff. If I was Hasbro, I'd be saying, right, screw it. Let's give everybody who's going to be watching this something really special to, like, you know, stick middle finger up at these people who are leaking the things. Or did Hasbro really not care that it's being leaked because it's all publicity for them and their figures? I don't know.
I don't think they care. I wasn't sure though if you were saying though about you were expecting more though. Is that from Hasbro Pulse or from when you were dogging? You want to see more? Did you want to see more?
Walking the dog, Alexis.
Oh,
you know dogging's on a Tuesday night. Jesus Christ, Alexis, get it right.
Anyway, you tell us the story when you were dogging. You were like, you don't know you're watching
at
joggers.
TFN.
You're watching joggers. That's what you were doing.
You're not in the WhatsApp anymore, mate.
I was
I
jogging.
can't tell when you're there or not.
No, Alexis was telling us the story where he was watching joggers and shouting obscenities at them. I don't know.
I was logging.
Not logging.
Kickback. What do you think? Just getting away from all the sexual deviancy for a second. What do you think of Kickback? Anybody happy to see this?
I like him.
Looks good?
I like him. And I like the fact they've tried to make it more like what a grasshopper would look like as well. You know, just a slight.
If he was
upgrade.
a robot.
Yeah, and I think that's quite a sort of unique and a brave thing to do. So I think that's actually quite cool, and it's a bit different because you obviously then, you know, it's cementing it, isn't it? Instead of a more of an upscaled version of the figure we already have, and I think when you look at Gnaw, you know, the fact is they could have done an upscaled version of that, and they went, no, we're going to give you a nicer, different version, which is more articulated.
That's a better version, isn't it? Though I mean, that's quite a step up from the legend. Was it legend size? Whatever they were called, the legend size Titan's Return or Power of the Prime ones, whichever one they were. I think they did give it a different name that time, but they used to be the legend size ish. Anyway, it looks better, is what I'm trying to say.
What people think all the bots is. Sorry, go on, Jay.
I was just looking at comments that people have been saying.
Great kickback, says Arrowfire.
I was just going to say, I've noticed about all the figures is there isn't many gaps in any of them, even like in the forearms. There isn't, unless it's hidden. There doesn't seem to be, apart from where the hand flips round potentially, and the upper thigh, and some of that, not all. So Dragship didn't appear to have a gap in the upper thigh.
That was one criticism, though, wasn't it, Alexis? I don't know if you've seen that on social media. That some of the criticism when the Skids and Bulkhead pictures were released was I saw quite a few people moaning about the hollow legs on Skids and stuff like that. And
Rohan's moaning about it.
Just go back.
Rohan, man, come on.
What does he not moan about?
Bloody Rohan again.
Can you go back to the images, mate? Sorry.
I think Dan Vistator made a good point about the extras in Galvatron, saying unless you've got Unicron, you're kind of missing out. Many figures.
The Galvatron thing feels like it's been made for the people who have Unicron to give them as an excuse for, right, you've got to buy this now because it comes with all these bits.
Yes, definitely.
So if you see the inside of the legs there, certainly this part of the leg, it's quite hollow. But again, maybe it's because I've not been a masterpiece collector or whatever, or because I don't, generally speaking, regularly spend a huge amount of money on each bot, and so I want it to be like perfection or whatever. Or maybe I just like the fact that sometimes a bot that's a bit of a flawed bot has a bit of character to it. It doesn't, generally speaking, bother me. I remember when Impactor was revealed and the amount of people moaning about it. The third-party companies are just going to do some filler kits that you're going to buy anyway, so
It wasn't Rohan as well who was moaning.
How dare you sully his name? I've never had a bad word to say about him.
Called him Mohan. Sorry, Rohan.
Bulkhead, sorry.
It was Mick. Sorry, Mick. Well, it was you. Right, carry on. What's next?
Sorry, I'm getting back to. So, then you got Bulkhead, which
he's the one I like the most.
I think round the back. But again, who displays figures like with their back to you? I've never understood. Sorry, the main complaints with Bulkhead weren't about gaps. Sorry, Alexis. The main complaints about Bulkhead weren't about gaps. The main complaints were, obviously, there's quite a lot of Transformers Prime fans. I mean, I am a Transformers Prime fan. And the kind of more diehard fans, I suppose, a bit like the G1ers, were moaning that it's done in a G1 style instead of just being basically the exact same toy that you could have just bought from Transformers Prime. So we've got this, which to me looks like it's just like Hound, that same kind of design aesthetic we had with Hound in Age of Extinction, and they've stuck a Bulkhead head on it.
You think he'd be more like a Hummer, wouldn't you? Because a Hummer has almost got like that. I know what he looks like.
Yeah,
in Prime.
yeah, the design in the cartoon.
And
yeah.
I think in a Humvee almost is like almost in that sort of like halfway house, isn't it? Between like a little bit of a G1 and a little bit like that. But again, to answer your question, gaps at the back. I only display Transformers from the behind in the bedroom.
Lovely. The Energon weapon, another one of those Energon weapons that he comes with, and obviously you can either hide the hand back inside and attach this, or I don't know if it's...
The Energon weapons are partner can combine and maybe even make a bigger combiner.
Wow.
I agree with Dave as well. I like the square chest. I really like it.
I think it's grown on me more now. I mean, I wasn't like moaning because it didn't look like Transformers Prime version of Bulkhead, but I just thought it looked a bit boxy. But then certain
you look
photos
at
do
it,
make it
the
look
better
better.
it becomes. It really does.
There's all the Galvatron extra bits for those who...
The only thing I started to get scared
What's
of
this?
was is when you look at Mark, he's obviously a G1 fan. What about when the fans of Prime and that they get older and become like Mark? Does that mean we're going to have aesthetic stuff that look like Prime? Because that would be awful. I'm just hoping that's not true. Don't give them a job.
Mark will still be rolling it out at like age 75.
I hope so.
And he'll still be loving it, Mark. God bless you, mate. So this is what comes with the Galvatron that you saw. You know, the Tron-esque Galvatron.
Okay.
And these are some of the extra bits that you get with it. So you get the flight center, you get the little versions which are see-through for some reason, or are they see-through or grey, of each of most of the main characters from the film. You've got the Quintesson ship, you've got the Junkion ship, and you've got the Galvatron's vessel. Is it the Revenge? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you get all those bits, which again, to me, it feels like, right, we'll do Galvatron, we'll do it in these colours, right, and we'll stick all this stuff in, and then the people who bought Unicron will have to buy it. Which, you know, I could work for Hasbro with that kind of attitude. Oops, there's drag strips.
Up your muhaha. More muhaha.
That was a very reserved muhaha. I didn't want to deafen anyone. The drag strip, I like the drag strip alternate mode because it just reminds me of the G1 figure. Sorry, I like G1, but it does. I like the energy it gives off there with the 6 wheels. Slightly weird looking, but you know, it works for me. I like it, damn it. And there's the G2
it's just pegged wheels like shit, don't they? Pegged wheels.
Is it just me though? Because didn't the G2 Prime have like the really gaudy stickers and stuff down the side with like deco? Yeah, and I kind of felt a bit disappointed they didn't go with that for the trailer. I mean, somebody, you know, Toy Hacks or whatever will obviously do a sticker sheet for every single one of these figures.
I'm kind of glad they didn't do that. I've got the G2 Prime. I think you might even have them up there, or no, put them in storage. The stickers just start to peel off and stuff like that. And
well, if they were decent though, or even a Tampo.
I want it hand painted by Matt Ferguson, like the artwork I've got
personally,
in my collector's edition,
or Matt Henderson, or Matt Henderson.
He bought the steel box edition.
Yeah, and Matt Henderson might be more likely to be available, if I'm being honest. Big shout out to Matt. Some poor bloke called Matt Henderson's going to start getting tagged in things now. There's Kickback in his Grasshopper mode. Is it Grasshopper Locust? Can never remember. But anyway, there he is. Not my favourite Insecticon. In fact, of the three of them, probably my least favourite. But I do think that looks good. The figure in general, the robot mode is the thing I would want it for the most. Galvatron in his cannon mount. I do like that Tron styling. If you could buy it and it didn't necessarily get charged an extra 30 odd quid or whatever for the Unicron tat, then I would actually consider getting that because I just.
It's almost like £90.
I think it's something like that. 80 or 90.
No, it's not. It's like £50.
55. 55.
Oh wow! Well, in that case, I might go for it.
Do you remember the Gold Lagoon? It's like that sort of esque, isn't it? Like, you know, like when a lot of, I think New Age do a Gold Lagoon version of everything, don't they? It's
when
like
they were all purple.
Well, no, but also gold. But
right, I'll just give you a price for each of the figures right now on Hasbro Pulse. So I'm pretty sure other places will do. So basically, Legacy Voyager Bulkhead is £26.99. Legacy Deluxe Kickback is £19.99. Legacy Deluxe Universe RC is £19.99. Dragstrip is £19.99. G2 Universe Laser Optimus Prime is £49.99. Skids is £19.99. Transformers Generation Warfare Cybertron Leader Behold Galvatron Unicron Companion Pack is £56.99. So I'm sure all the other stores will be offering it slightly cheaper or the same price as well.
Jamie, you should do the football scores. That's what that reminded me of. It was beautiful.
Thank you.
There he is again in his alternate mode. We do have more photos, official photos released by Hasbro of Skids and Bulkhead, just because they did release a load of
Football
photos.
scores.
It just
Football
looks like
scores.
Japanese card.
What is the football score, James? Paul, rather.
Well, if you're looking at the best performing team in the Premier League over the last 3 games, you would do well to choose Arsenal because they would be top of the league. I mean, we're 12. We'd be 12. We're 12. But if you just looked at Newcastle,
you only draw your last game in the last minute, last seconds.
Oh my god.
Anyway,
I can imagine
Arsenal winning then, are they?
Your first date with your good wife.
3-0. Wow.
Your first date with your good wife, and you get her back and you go, if you look at this part of my penis, it's massive.
Not really sure how you made that connection there, Alexis, but okay.
I'm starting to understand why these rumours start.
It's weird, isn't it? I don't get it.
Did you share the card I got you, Paul? Did you share that card in the end? I don't think you shared it on the channel.
I shared it on the group. Head to Facebook. I did. If you go to Facebook, on Facebook. If you go to Facebook, Transformers the show, it's there. The card, and
Skids.
it said, what did it say?
Can I just say, lads? Skids is tired of your shit. Look at that face. He is tired of your shit right now.
The card said, I can't believe you're still alive. I was going to have a crack at your wife. Anyway, happy birthday.
Oh,
Happy
yes,
birthday.
I remember that. I don't understand where these rumours come from.
I wrote inside. I wrote him a lovely little poem in different colour ink.
You did. It was really gave my wife questioned why she was married
Exactly.
to me.
That was the whole point. Who wrote it to you? Yes.
Oh dear.
Lovely man.
Oh, there's Bulkhead looking all sparkly in the background. Look at that.
It does look good. How tall?
It just looks like he's came from the nightclub, doesn't he?
Is he
coming out of the nightclub at 3 in the morning?
How tall is a Voyager now? 7 inches? 6 inches?
Oh god, I don't know anymore. How tall are they? They're down to about 6 inches, aren't they?
Yeah, the Voyagers keep changing. To be honest, that's the one thing I've liked about this line is the Voyagers differ in sizes. You know, you get your taller Voyagers like Ironhide, then you've got your much smaller Voyagers like Bumblebee. You know, he looks like the Ironhide, I'm hoping, type Voyager size, and he's definitely, you know, he's got that pay scale. So yeah, you've got it just depends. I mean, the deluxe Ironhide was a deluxe, a tall deluxe. And
did you see how somebody was criticising it, Jamie, because of the fact that in the alternate mode it looked like there was false tyres behind the cab, and then somebody went to a picture of the actual vehicle it's based on, and it has tyres behind the cab, and it's like, yes, awesome. Some of that.
But I don't understand why some people do. Oh, that's a false thing. It's a fucking transforming robot.
Exactly.
What you're seeing isn't true. No, it's not real.
Come on, we're talking about a fandom who will literally fight each other over whether Hot Rod killed Optimus Prime.
I know
it was written in a script. It's
I
not
know
real.
exactly.
It's real. I believe it. It's real.
Those
They're my
guys have a
friends.
point.
real to me.
I will go to that establishment. I'll go, excuse me, madam, they're not real. I'm not going anywhere near you.
Again.
Do you know, I was in Japan and I was in a nightclub and I was actually testing to see if they were real or not. I told them I was a doctor and I could tell.
Pretty sure you just confessed to sexual assault. All right. Oh dear me. Anyway.
Oh dear. Yeah.
I'm starting to understand the dislikes.
I'm so
Rugby
sorry.
fans, we are different breed.
Oh god, we're bad tonight.
Oh, this man does not represent
Next
my
week's sorry
views.
video will be from Jamie.
I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I think it'll be much more heartfelt than yours.
Yeah. Go get yourself pished.
Actually, I was sat at a table. They came down to me.
All right. You're not on trial here.
I felt like
Save it for the courts.
Cut the feed. We're done.
Anyway, so there you have it. Legacy. Overall, how do we feel about it?
Meh.
Yeah.
I love both your reactions.
I love the Galvatron. The Galvatron looks fucking awesome. He really does. Bulkhead. I love Bulkhead. I think Bulkhead is cool. I love the blockiness of Skids as well. They need to get Mud Flap released as well. You can't have a Skids without a Mud Flap. He can fuck off. Really don't care. They could not make it more boring. It's just, how many colours are you? 2.
Galvatron's one colour.
I was going to say.
Galvatron's 2 colours on purpose.
Purple and slightly different purple.
This has got different yellows.
Oh, and pink. Or is that puce?
Puce.
Can we split hairs on this?
It's amazing that this is puce.
It looks like he's got a weird purple mustache there.
Oh no, don't spoil it.
Yeah. Oh, look at that mustache. He's got a handlebar mustache going on.
Paul gets flashbacks from that.
Lemmy style.
Anyway. Big earrings.
Jamie,
yeah,
RC's
fit. Although it's clear her arms are there.
I'm getting them all. I'm getting them all, definitely. I think it's not one there. I'm not even. The only thing I'm not sure of is the Galvatron pack, just because I think it's a bit unfair, for people who have missed out on Unicron getting that. And I would have liked Galvatron, but it's not.
I'll do a deal. I'll do a deal, Jamie. You buy the Galvatron and sell me the.
Well, when you think about it, you get the leader packs are like £50 anyway, so you're getting basically Galvatron with just a amount of extra stuff for £6. So.
Well, I'll pay £6
I think it'd be awful if we have to pay import prices, and you're probably thinking about £90 and stuff like that. But that's good price for consumers.
I'm going to let Rudy have the final word, and he says, "I'm not. I can give a shit. Agree."
Alexis, will you be buying these for your children?
No.
No.
You liar!
Yeah.
So because you actually like your kids.
There are far too many things already that I'm not going to give them because they don't appreciate Transformers.
I'm not going to give them.
I think you did well with the G2 Optimus
I have a box of Dismember Transformers,
especially with the price point, and still trying to give that base which you had in the G2 thing. I think that's quite a good achievement.
I'm going to wait for the Scourge repaint or the Nemesis Prime repaint.
Yeah, he has got shoulder pads like he's from freaking Dallas or something, or some 80s soap. But,
and they've taken the worst bit out of Earthrise Prime.
The fandom are really good and and a very good step forward. I think
the worst bit from Earthrise Prime was his long legs, and that's the only bit they've used.
Do you not think the shoulders offset it slightly though? Because he's got the big shoulders. I didn't actually.
They accentuate his legs.
I didn't notice it. It's only when we were looking at that then I kind of went, oh,
no, the shoulders look too big, I think, as well.
All right. Okay. Fair enough. Personally, I'm not going to be in for all of these because there's some that just don't appeal to me. But I think they all have their own charms. I actually like the drag strip. I know the colours are a bit dull, but it's drag strip. It's what colour he's supposed to be, so I don't really know what you want there. The Galvatron I like the look of, but the Unicron pack would be useless to me. I'll give it to Paul. I'll give it to Paul as a gift, and he can then not put it with his Unicron that he's still not unboxed.
He hasn't got mine's unboxed.
He goes, Alexis, triggered. At least I got mine out of the box. I'm in a video for an hour putting him on the stand.
I had Mark Wahlberg in my video.
Yeah, you did. He loved it.
You done well. You were.
Having some difficulty with this.
I think
it seems pretty self-explanatory. But if Paul's watching this, then I'm doing this totally hard panther. I'm gonna say totally hard panther.
Yeah. So, but
100%. Maybe I had it. That was right. That was the correct. Let's go.
It's worth showing again. Sorry.
Yeah, I was just dancing around to the music.
And in 20 minutes' time, pre-order should open up for everyone else.
For all the normal people. All the normies, not the special chosen ones.
From the common people.
The commoners.
Galvatron.
All you plebs.
Unicron's here. You can see his horn.
I can't wait to see Jamie's use of the meme.
I thought Alexis was going to put his mouth around that thing just to give that. Oh well.
Oh, please don't.
Opportunity lost.
That's our OnlyFans account.
They've shut that down. Remember?
Give them the PV, Alexis. Go on.
No, they haven't. No, they haven't.
POV.
Right, this is turning out to be our longest show ever. So we're going to wind it down now and take it back. Right, so thanks for watching tonight.
Cheers.
Please join us on our Facebook group, which is Transformers The Show UK.
That just looks wrong the way that's just it's like a Transformer's got a knob or something. Just
It's not Unicron. It's not Unicron. It's attached to the wall. Anyway. He's going to move the camera just to prove it.
Right. We knew it wasn't a robot penis.
It's grown.
It was just Jamie making a joke. Right, Alexis, what's the Instagram?
Transformers the show.
Cool. And Jamie, where do we find us on Twitter?
TF Show UK. So it's TF capital S Show UK.
Brilliant. And I feel it's just time for one last apology to the people we've offended recently. So good night, and we're sorry.
Hi guys, it's Paul, the host of Transformers the Show. We wanted to reach out to you so we can clear some things up from a matter that was raised on one of the forums. An accusation was made that our pickups are no more than a dick swinging contest. We wanted to apologise for that, as well as any other allegations.
It's time to say sorry. Whoops. We all make mistakes. Sorry. Oh, I'm sorry. They know I'm sorry. But you know I'm sorry. Oh, sorry for having fun. Whoops. I'm sorry. Sorry.
That's it for tonight's show. See you next week. Bye bye.